Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel after very long, and today we're going to be discussing how I deal with distractions. I haven't found out the perfect solution, but I've noted down about 7 points as to how I can help you guys. So let's get right into the video. Fairy lights because I'm unleashing my inner basic chick. Let's get started with the first point that I noted down, that is smaller goals. So what happens is I sit down and I think of this extensive plan about what I'm going to do today, and I start procrastinating because that plan really scares me. I'm like, itna padna padega, question mark. But when I decide that, okay, I'll just be doing these 3 pages and then I'll see what I can do after that. So I do those 3 pages. And sometimes when I'm in the mood, when I get into the mood, I do more than those 3 pages. So I realize when I set in smaller goals for myself, short-term goals, I end up not procrastinating as much. Also, if you're just here for the phone and social media part, then you can skip to the end of the video. The second thing I do for myself is rewarding goals. So suppose I have decided I need to finish this one huge chapter, which is probably like 20 pages. I decide to reward myself with something right after that. It can be food. Right now I'm low on budget, so it's not food anymore. It can be a power nap. Dude, sometimes you're so tired, you just need a power nap to function. So power naps can't be more than 20 minutes because that's proper sleep then. So power nap, I usually do it for 10 minutes and I wake up. But I suggest don't do it in the night because the last time I took a power nap at 1 o'clock, I woke up at 7 in the morning. So these small rewards are for you to just appreciate your efforts and make yourself feel nice because, bro, you put in effort. Okay, the third one is something which might not work for everyone or might not work for all situations. So another thing I do is I do the unimportant tasks. I wouldn't say unimportant, the ones that are less important and less critical or less time bound first, followed by the ones that are time bound. For example, I have to study a chapter which I decided by myself. I'm like, I need to do this chapter for exams which are probably 2 months later. But there is another chapter that I need to do for tomorrow's test. So I end up doing the exam chapter before the tomorrow's test chapter so that I don't procrastinate for the tomorrow test chapter. I hope I'm clear with this. I should have phrased it better, but you get it. I try to do the unimportant tasks first so that once I get done with it, I'm forced to do the important tasks. The reason this might not work for everyone is because some days all you have are important tasks. That's when you really have to push yourself. The fourth thing is identifying your peak study time. So let me give you my example. So my peak study time is any time before I get back to my hostel. The thing is, in my hostel, I start thinking of things that I can do in my room alone, and I end up just getting distracted, procrastinating my work. So my peak study time in general is till 9 p.m., which is our hostel curfew time right now. So I study everything. I try to finish everything by 9 o'clock, and after I come to my hostel, I barely have anything to study. I focus on my other work. So most of the time it doesn't work that way because I end up having to study at least 2 hours more after coming back to the hostel too. But at least I get my major work done during my peak study time. I realize that late nights and early mornings don't work for me because my sleep, it's hard for me to wake up and sleep, and I really need to work on that. And finally, phone. Okay, phone is very distracting. I get it. Honestly, I would have loved to have that button wala phone until a certain point and then got in social media. I was privileged enough to get a proper smartphone way back. Sometimes my screen time gives me a mini heart attack. There are 5-6 things that I do in order to avoid getting distracted by my phone. The first one being just switching it off. I don't know how that works, but sometimes I just switch off my phone if I have to study for 2 hours, and I don't switch it on for 2 hours. It's kind of unhealthy because there might be important tasks, important calls that you might have to take up. But when I absolutely need to force myself to study, that's what I do. I just switch it off and keep it in a corner and leave my hostel room and study in the corridor or something. I used to do that back at home also. I used to switch off my phone and put it in my mom's bag and wait for her to come back from hospital before I use it. Yeah. And second thing is study apps. Study apps, personally, I haven't used them as much, but they did help me at one point of time. I will definitely link the study apps below in my description. And then there's this weird other incentive too. So basically, when you keep checking your phone and you have no updates and no messages, it's kind of sad. But then if you leave your phone for proper 2 hours and you come back to see a lot of notifications and a lot of attention, kind of makes you feel good, right? I don't know, it makes me feel good. Coming up to a lot of posts, coming up to a lot of messages. So that is another incentive for me to not use my phone for a longer period. Another thing people usually complain about, also at times it has happened to me, is that their environment is distracting. A lot of students have come up to me and they were like, I just look at the wall, the book is right in front of me, and I don't know what to do. That's when you have to think about what's your study environment. You thought about what your ideal study time is. So it's time you also think about what your ideal study environment is. Is it someplace secluded with no noise at all, or is it someplace where there are people around you? Because it's the latter for me. Because when I'm in my room, it gets really hard to concentrate. I end up getting distracted and overthink about every small thing. So when I'm with people, I tend to study better. And talking about environment, my last point is, if you have to be straightforward, you have to be straightforward, because your education is more important than a lot of other things. So if you feel that your roommate or your family members are being a distraction, then please let them know. Because if you keep it within you, it'll either aggravate more or it'll start bothering your education a lot more than it usually should. So it's important that you have a civil discussion with people in case you think they're being a distraction to your studies, be it anyone, your family members, your friends, your partners, your roommates, anyone. See, getting distracted and procrastinating a little is absolutely normal, but when your distraction time exceeds the amount of time you put into studies, then it's a problem, and that's when you'll have to look into these factors and figure out where you're going wrong. And give yourself time. You can't start being perfect and disciplined the day you start implementing all of this. And I don't even think half of these are going to work for a lot of people, but these worked for me. So I'm letting you guys know so that you can try out and figure out what works for you too. And it's okay if you don't study as much today. It's okay if you don't study as much as you wanted to or planned to, just because you got distracted, because you can always cover up. There is always time to do that. I've realized that, because if I spend the amount of time I procrastinate into studying, there is so much more I could have got done. So that just means that you have time. You genuinely do have time to do a lot of stuff. It's just that we'll have to work on all of these, and you're not alone. I have to, a lot of people have to, the greatest learners probably have to. So White Chicks Riya with Fairy Lights is now going to go. Thank you so much for watching this video. It really means a lot, because at one point I thought, let me just stop YouTube because I'm not getting any monetization anyways. But then a part of me was just like, but it's so cute, the whole cute family thing I've got going on with you guys. So I really appreciate that, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon. By the way, exam season starts yet again, and this time it's the entire syllabus. Oh, by the way, my first and second sessional marks were good, guys. I think it was better than expected from what I thought medical colleges would give. I got beyond 85 in both of them, and I'm pretty happy with it.